I would say the number one thing that we hear the most is, I really wish I could have come to you earlier.
They always think it'll never happen to them. It's only human nature. Like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to, be that person, but everybody is.
Dementia is a non-curable and lifelong lasting disease that affects over 5.6 million seniors. In the United States, 50% of seniors over the age of 65 need some sort of long-term care during their lifetime. Seniors affected spend on average from $50,000 to $150,000 a year on long-term care. It is crucial to have pre-planning steps done in advance before it is too late.
I'm Peggy McGarity. My mom was diagnosed with, first it was dementia, and then if you're familiar with the diagnosis, when they rule out other types of memory loss, they typically just call it Alzheimer's. One of the things that I recommend people do right when they get a diagnosis is have a healthcare power of attorney and a financial power of attorney.
Katie Knoke is a care coordinator at Bratton Law Group. In her role, she often recommends the correct legal documents that families of people living with dementia should have in place for the long-term care of their loved one.
So our mission is to bring the elder care law piece with using legal, financial, and then healthcare advocacy to help all of our clients.
Whoever that person is that's going to, that trustworthy person that's going to be there taking care of your loved one, have that ready to go.
When you are helping to plan, if you're a caregiver or just a family member trying to plan for a senior, anyone that has special needs or may need care in the future, it's making sure that they have their financials in order, their legal pieces such as the estate planning documents, your powers of attorney, your will, advance directive, things like that in place.
Because there's going to be a point, and they know, and the patient is not necessarily going to know when that is, but they're not going to be able to pay their bills anymore. They're not going to be able to take care of their doctor's appointments anymore. Ask them when they still have some of their faculties what their wishes are, so you know.
But the hardest part is just talking about it. It's like very difficult subjects to bring up, especially to your parents and your, relatives. Nobody wants to talk about it. So that's the worst part.
Cindy Euler sees this problem quite often as she works in the field as a full-time paid caregiver.
It's really difficult. I don't know. Early planning, sure, it all sounds so perfect. But with Alzheimer's, it isn't. It's very difficult to be proactive.
Cindy's current position is caring for a woman with Alzheimer's.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful, life-changing experience for me. Alzheimer's is I would say, is more reactive than anything else. I think so many families think, this will just kind of evolve, but they don't realize what the needs really are.
We did not do everything perfectly, and a lot of things caught us off guard. But if you can think through the next step before it happens, you're going to be so much better. And the big thing that I would say is really look into care, whether it is a caregiver at home or a facility. Look into that before you need it, because a lot of these places are full and you get on waiting lists, and you don't want to be reacting like, oh my gosh, we need something next week.
We've had families that have said, I knew I needed to get mom care, but I didn't know I needed all of this. And they were so happy that they did, because they were able to go home and sleep at night knowing I looked through every aspect of what I needed to do and got professional advice to know how to handle it.
Debbie Thomas is a senior care manager at Sage Care Advisors, which is a company that assists a family looking for direction and support when planning for dementia or long-term care.
Most people that we work with, we were hoping would be planning proactively, but we have found that reactive planning is much more of what we're seeing. There probably is about 20% of our population that we get early enough or during the process that we can do some really good planning. So we do get to that information. It's just sometimes through a reactive situation that then heals and becomes proactive.
An advisor will help clients find service providers, attorneys, and other resources, such as a connection with Jessica Curtis from the Tender Adult Day Center.
Here at the Tender, our mission is really to foster the independence of our clients while maintaining their dignity and helping them rediscover joy in their everyday life, giving them some sense of purpose back to their day. And then also on the flip side, providing caregiver support resources to make sure that the caregiver has what they need as their loved one progresses through the dementia journey. And both the caregiver and the client kind of both get their life back being part of the Tender.
Ideally, it would be wonderful if seniors and their families could plan for a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, and a 5-year plan.
My biggest mission is to always make sure that the care comes first and that the financial pieces are able to support that, where they can kind of have their cake and eat it too. Making sure that they're able to get the care, but also utilize the governmental programs that are out there to help provide that same amount of care.